arcade sucks!
So when it comes to Jak and Daxter, I think it needs to be talked about the difference between the American and Japanese style, because this game is very, very different in the way that it actually blended the two together. You can obviously tell that there are anime inspirations, while there's also American inspirations intertwined with each other in this game. And it's very, 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 very cool how they mix those together, because obviously the reason they would mix those together is, you know, for more appeal. The anime style has always been an appeal for a lot of people, and you know, putting that into not even just the character design of Jak himself, but Daxter being this mystical, like, otter weasel thing that we just don't really know, like, what the frick this thing is. There's a lot of mystical undertones, I guess is the best way to put it. And there's a lot of cool things that they've done with this game that you can really get your hands and grubby little mitts on when it comes to design, especially Kira. Like I said, Kira's my girl. There's 3 big girls in this game that a lot of people love. And right now we're only going to be meeting Kira, but there are 2 more that we're going to get introduced to in the second game, are Tess and Ashlyn. And they're pretty cool too. I like them, but they just don't compare to my girl Kira, man. I get like I've always said this, growing up I didn't really have like childhood crush characters, but Kira was 100% one of them. There we go, that's what I wanted.
Alright, more orbs.
Break this, there we go. There we go, nice. And Tess and they all 3 also fall. Now the other 2, Tess and Ashlyn, kind of fall under that same design philosophy, but most of the first game really falls under this little anime-esque but Americanized style. It's a very, very hybrid style, and it's amazing that they were able to pull this off. Because obviously, you know, Jak probably wouldn't have looked as appealing, to me at least, and maybe a lot of other people back then, if he was really just Americanized. And you can even tell in the way that he has these big eyes, and even down to just how much animation there is in the moving and the animation. That's another thing. You play as Jak and Daxter. That's why it's called Jak and Daxter. Now, Daxter's name gets removed out of the second 2 games in the series. But what's really, really cool about this game is everything that you do. There's an animation for Jak, but there's an animation for Daxter too. As you can see, Daxter will, you know, slide around, or he'll come off his shoulder. It really feels like you're playing as both at the same time, and it's a really, really cool thing that I think, you know, isn't utilized. Oh yeah, I forgot to show y'all. There's an uppercut in this game too. So yeah, there's an uppercut in this game too if you want to use an uppercut, but it's really cool that they're able to pull off this kind of style in such a seamless way that works, because I've said this before, but in no way am I against American-made things. I'm American myself, so there's no way that I would be against it. But there are a lot of things that just, to me, Americanized and Westernized media, to me personally, just does not appeal to me. And more Japanese style media always was more appealing to me. I mean, you know, some of my favorite media of all time was made in Japan, which is, you know, Dragon Ball, you know, My Hero Academia, Sonic the freaking Hedgehog, who was made with the anime style in mind on purpose to appeal to more people. So, you know, it's really no question about it that I love Japanese media. Also, another cool thing that you can do with Jak's roll is it can actually attack enemies. A lot of people wouldn't really know that if you didn't try it, but you can attack enemies with it. So if you roll just at the right time and, you know, the right altitude, you can actually attack enemies with it. Now, there is one thing that we are not going to be able... We are going to be able to do pretty much everything here except for one or two more things. There's one thing we will have to come back to get all the eggs, which are up on that little area, but we're gonna have to go to the jungle area first in order to deal with those things, because if we don't do it now, or if we try to do it now, we're not gonna get anywhere. And basically, there's a big giant vent in the jungle that will allow us to, you can actually see it right there, but this will unlock all the blue Inco vents in the world. It will allow us to actually, another cool interesting thing that you get with the spin jump, I like to call it, is you actually get a boosted jump. So like I said, you can actually save yourself.
Seagulls! Let's buzz them for kicks.
Y'all know I had to let that line play out. But also, this game does something cool in the music department as well that I really enjoy. This game has interactive music. As you can see, the music is more like ruin-esque and more like ancient. And as you interact with everything in this game that you interact with is awesome, because you can actually either changes based on the type of environment that you're in, or you'll hear a little sound based on what Jack will be stepping on. So there's actually really cool sound effects that you can also get that are really appeasing to the ear too. There's a lot of care and a lot of thought that went into this game that you really wouldn't think about heading into it now, but there's actually a lot of daggum thought and care that went into this game when making it, and just the music department. And it's really clear that Naughty Dog knew exactly what the heck they were doing when it comes to making this game. Now, scaring off these birds, gave us a power cell. So there was actually a use for doing that.
They caused an avalanche. Let's check it out.
They did. You're right. And always make sure you check behind those, because, like I said, it's pretty easy to miss. It's pretty easy to miss eggs if you're not looking at everything. But like I said, if you know what you're doing, this game feels relatively small. Back when I was a kid, this game really felt like huge. Like, oh man, there's no way I'd be able to explore all of this. But it's pretty easy to. Oh wait, I forgot that I forgot to talk to Animal Lady. It is what it is. Shoot. I can probably just free the flood anyway, right? I would assume so. Can I just skip it without talking to Animal Lady? Because I was like kind of like on a roll, and then I just forgot to speak to Animal Lady. But it is what it is. Also, another cool thing is if you have the energy eco, you can actually. Oh frick. If you have the energy eco, you can actually not only just open things, but you can actually get a lot of cool little snippets and open up like areas with your with it, and get these cool like little egg like little things. But they can also destroy items around you, and they'll also attract things to you, so you don't actually have to like run and physically collect things when you have blue eco. As long as you get close to it, it'll attract you. It's like using the magnet shield in Sonic the Hedgehog 3 basically. And I wouldn't be surprised if Jack and Daxter took a lot of inspiration from Sonic the Hedgehog and other games like
Good job.
Oh,
now
never
meet
mind.
me down here by the egg.
I guess I can just trigger it early. That's good.
Oh my.
So I was originally supposed to trigger this, but I guess I triggered it early. And she gave me the power cell anyway, which is good. Because freeing this thing will actually help us out later in the game. We will not be able to progress if you don't free this thing. Because there's actual super sections in this game. Super sections. But
It's Mom.
there's actual sections in this game where you're going to need to use the flood.
Love at first sight. Listen, boys. I'll take this little chick back to the village with me and work with the sage to take care of her.
Alright, let's get into this. I love the little dancing animations that you get when you obtain power cells. It's very, very awesome. Very, very fun as well. Like I said, this game just creates a really just fun vibe, and it wants you to know that you're in for a great, fun ride when you play this game. But there are still a few matters of business we need to deal with. That's all 7 scout flies. There are 7 in each area. Like I said, there are 7 in each area, and you will get a power cell every single time. And you can only break them by using this. You cannot break the boxes anyway else. Except you can break them with the blue eco. Now, like I said, there is a bunch of there's a fish that I said, but right here in this area, you don't need to worry about it. You can actually just dive down here. As long as the eggs are here, you're safe, and you don't have to worry about the fish. But the fish, he's scary, man, and he will insta-kill you as well, so you do need to be careful. Also, a little cheat that you can do to swim a little faster. But you get a lot of your eggs coming behind this waterfall, you know, little secrets behind. When the video game waterfall has a thing behind it, and like I said, Daxter has an animation for everything as well. As you can see, Jack is swimming, and Daxter is afraid because, you know, he's in the water. And, you know, he's an animal now, so I would assume him trying to adjust to how he swims is, you know. And you can actually hold down being underwater for a while, but it does control kind of funky. And he'll automatically come back up after he's reached his limit. So there is that. So you do need to be careful when swimming underwater. Because he'll very seldomly really need to use it. It's just kind of an ability that you use, especially in the water level. But here it's like they have those there to teach you, oh, you can dive in this game, and if you dive, you'll be good to go. So this part right here, pretty self-explanatory. All you need to do is get to the power cell, and if he scoops it up again, you're gonna have to do it again. But if you're quick enough, which you should be, because this pelican is really slow. Never mind, I fumbled. Never mind, I fumbled. Yeah, we got it. I knew it. Oh my frick, bro. Wait for him to come back. I fumbled, bro. I'm so angry. I usually get that first try every time. It's not even that hard. I just fumbled. But hold on. Screw you, stupid pelican. Okay. Okay. Let's get this. Hold on. Let me. Like I said, the pelican, he's really the least of your worries. All you have to do is, there you go. And then, boom. You just grab it, and you'll see him fly back in the background back there. He's like, oh, crap, you got it. Never mind. And so he'll just fly off, never to be seen again. And there he goes. See? Out in the distance. So I think that should be all of the power cells except for one. Which, like I said, we're going to have to come back because the last power cell is actually up there where that guy is shooting. So we're not going to be able to get there right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to head back to Sandover and go ahead and find those 7. Go ahead and find the rest of those scout flies, and then we'll do everything in the jungle. Because like I said, this is a very beginner basic area, but they do want you to actually come back. Basically telling you, like, hey, you're going to want to backtrack. There's a lot of cool things that this game does in terms of teaching you things, like, very subtly without telling you. Like, that basically right there was telling you and teaching you, like, hey, you're going to want to backtrack. If you don't backtrack, it's going to, you know, you're not going to have a fun time. Because, well, basically, you didn't backtrack, you daggum. Okay, also, there are these yaks. And you need to herd them back. You don't even need to talk to the farmer, but he will give you a, get in there. Yeah, there you go. You don't even need to really learn from them, but you can. Well, not learn, sorry. What am I talking about? You don't even need to, talk to the farmer. As long as you just execute this and do it, you're good to go. Because, as I've said before, if you just know what you're doing, you're good to go. But what you originally want to do, if this is your first time, is talk to that farmer, and you're just going to want to herd these guys. They won't move until you punch them, But it's much like how herding works in any other freaking video game. Is, you know, you just go on one side to go to the other, and the other side to go on another, and boom, you're good to go. And you know, you can hit the little yaks. They'll keep moving. You want to keep punching them a little bit too, because they will stop moving after a little bit. So you want to make sure that you periodically hit them, so they, you know, stop acting up. And then, boom. That should be all of them, I think. No. Oh, one more. And then there was one.
That lazy farmer owes us a power cell. Let's go talk to him.
Yep. He does.
Well done, my boy. You actually got those flea bags back into the pen. Now I can
I did,
sleep in peace.
and
Take this power
he
cell for your trouble.
gives you the power cell. There's also another way that you can get power cells, but it depends on how many eggs you have. And you probably saw it up there. There's a little precursor thing, and you talk to it, and if you trade it some of your eggs, which, don't worry, trading your eggs away does not count towards your overall progress. Because you're doing a collectathon, these eggs actually don't respawn, sadly. But it is nice in that aspect, because obviously, you know, it means that if you have the required amount, you're good to go. You have nothing to worry about. So if you go over this way and you saw, you can actually come down over this way. Jump, 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 jump. Hit this thing. Get there. And then what you can do is you can actually... You can actually do this jump. And the reason I do the roll jump is because the roll jump is actually very handy in getting you to places if you know how to utilize it correctly. And there we go. That's all 7 scout flies attained for Sandover Village as well. And now all we have to do is fulfill the quest. Now, usually what I like to do when I play this game is I like to get all the power cells for Sandover after doing the 2 things. So basically I'll come back before having these, because what they need to do is they need power cells in order to progress the game, and the only area that we can progress to right now is the first 2 areas. So we will come back to Sandover at least a few times, because we still have to talk to Kira, we have to talk to, you know, our uncle, we have to talk to the mayor. There's a lot of people that we have to talk to in order to get the power cells that are needed to complete the game.